Ladies and gentlemen,
Is your voice starting to finally crack?
is my voice starting to finally crack? That's all.
Anyway,
Coming to you live. Maybe not live. You can watch it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
soon come live. Soon come live. Less editing for me.
Yeah. Listening to it on Spotify as well. Introducing Third and Atlantic with your host, Joel. That's me. And that's some guy, Ed.
What's happening? What's popping? Brand new whip just hopped in. Oh no, that's so moist. That is so moist.
You better keep that in. No, you better keep that in. And this is week 14. Ed, tell them what happened last week.
So, first down recap of last week. So for those you don't
Wait, hold
know,
on. Before you do that,
go on.
I'm a bit excited again. You see, I got a little pep back in my step, but go on.
Why do you have a pet back in your step? Didn't your undefeated Steelers win again?
No, they lost. But you know what? They sacrificed for me because they knew and I knew if they won that game.
I just want the same energy of last week about the Steelers.
Yeah, the same energy was what? We'll take it a week at a time, a game at a time. We lost this one. We went into this one preparing to win and we lost it.
Tell me what happened. I want to get close to this one. What happened?
If you think about it, but since the last time
I was thinking about it. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, since the last time we recorded, the Steelers have played twice. You know how mad that is? There's a reason why it's not scheduled like that to begin with. That's what I'm saying.
Why did the Ravens win then?
Because they lost to us. And they had more days off. What are you talking about?
They lost to you with the team that they had with what their depleted squad. You can say arguably their B team.
Okay.
And your
they only had one player out really, but okay.
Calais Campbell was out as well. Their best player on either side is out.
The best player is Lamar Jackson on either side, not Calais Campbell.
On either side of the ball. So defense, Lamar Jackson. Defense, Calais Campbell was out. On offense, Lamar Jackson was out.
Okay. Well, once again, we didn't have a center, and it showed.
Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo.
Linebackers, everyone got injured, and it showed. You're saying boo-hoo, but when you were just using that
I was
argument for the Ravens. You were literally just using the argument for the Ravens.
I was trying to find all of Juju's videos after the game. I couldn't see any videos of him posting up 12-0. I couldn't find any of Juju's social media.
That's a lie. That's a lie because I sent you one.
No, that was before the game. I meant after the
Steelers account.
I mean after the game. Did anything happen after? They didn't say anything?
No. Did you see it?
Was he dancing on the logo? Was he dancing on the logo this time?
No, you weren't.
Okay, I might have missed something. You might have put it in the story. I might have missed it.
Okay, as the great Aaron Rodgers said, relax. It's one game. Relax.
So you're still not. Anyway, I've got nothing to say.
So like I said, we take it 1 week at a time, one game at a time, and we push on.
So, for those of you that don't know, me and Joel made our picks last week for week 13. There were 15 games. Because I won the week prior, I had an extra game to pick. So, I made 8 picks. Joel made 7 picks. And it ended 8-7 to Joel.
So say that again, sorry, I didn't quite hear it.
Yeah, you won 8-7. That's fine. Yeah, you won 8-7.
Yeah.
So, it was actually quite close going into the last couple days of this week. So, after all the Sunday games, it was looking quite close. There was a 3-game shootout, and then you ended up winning that 2-1, which tipped you over the edge. On the Sunday, when I was looking at how the Sunday games went, I wasn't mad at I was really pleased with my picks because my 2 incorrect picks were my 7th and my 8th. So all my other picks, apart from the Steelers who were yet to play, all my other picks were correct. So I was like, you know what, that's fine. I picked the shit teams incorrectly. When I was looking at yours, your 2nd and 3rd pick flopped you. Overall, Joel, you had the Browns. The Browns beat your Colts, and then
the Browns beat my Titans.
Sorry, okay. Your Browns beat your Titans, and then your Seahawks got beaten by the Giants. So those were your 2 losses.
First of all, no one in the whole of the world predicted that the Giants were going to beat the Seahawks. No one.
See, I did say
you weren't high. You weren't high on the Seahawks. You have been shaky on them. However, even you thought this wasn't the one that they were going to do it in.
But I'm not sure if you remember last week. I wasn't saying for me So my overall picks I had last week. I had the Chiefs as my number 1 pick, Packers as my 2nd pick, the Steelers as my 3rd, and then the Seahawks as my 4th. Mm-hmm. So I had Seahawks just a bit lower than you did, but that's more because of the Giants. And I've been riding on the Giants bandwagon for a little bit, and they helped me get a couple wins earlier
Yeah.
on. But no, did I see that coming? No, but I did feel that Giants could have the potential to do something. But fair
Not
play
against the
to
Seahawks.
the Giants.
Jeez.
Fair play. Let
Backup
Russ
QB.
cook. Russ has been overcooking his stuff a
Yeah.
little bit now.
No, but you never think a backup QB is going to beat Russ. But then you think a backup QB without Saquon, arguably their best weapon, on a team that relies on the run.
You say without Saquon, they
It's
haven't
a
had him
bit.
for the whole year, so it's like you can't really say without Saquon. It's just the Giants.
Yeah, but if you say the Giants beat the Seahawks, you'll be like, yeah, Saquon balled out.
No, but that's before the season. Obviously, Saquon.
Yeah, of course, that's before the season. But even before the season, I'd be like, no, that's not true. Now I'd be like, yeah, that's definitely not true. And it happened.
And then the other game was the Broncos and the Titans. The Browns and the Titans. Big win for the Browns. I wasn't particularly too high on the Browns. I still am not. Again, I think they're going to get beaten in their first playoff game. But I think they're going to get beaten in the first playoff because I think the AFC is a lot deeper than the NFC.
Well,
I'm not. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm still not buying the Browns. What
we really got to talk about is how the last four, not my last four picks, but the last four teams that were given to me, some of my own picks, they all showed out, all balled out for me.
Yeah, so the last four, two is the ones that you picked, two of the ones that I picked. I made a mistake. I felt I was making the right decision in picking the Cards to beat the Rams. And I think both of us have been high on the Rams, not the Rams, on the Cards.
On the Cards, yeah.
And they have been free-falling a little bit. Some may say it could be because they believe Kyler's injured. And also, again, I've said my bias throughout the year. Of course, the Jags had the Rams pick. By this point, it's not going to matter too much.
Yeah.
It's going to be somewhere between 20 and 32. So it is what it is.
For the Lions, who obviously bounced back after firing their head coach. You forgot about that?
No, I was, and that's something I said. That's why we left it. That was the last pick, no? Or was that the penultimate?
It was your second to last pick.
So I knew that. I knew that going in, but I still felt, no, surely the Bears have got this. The Bears defense have got some bit of pride. They've got talent on that defense to do something. And they messed it up at the end, which is really because that's something to expect the Lions to do.
It was terrible. That one at the end, I think the Pats, it was a great pick because Bill Belichick against rookie QBs. Turns out, even in a bad season, he still won't let that go.
And I think the record was Bill Belichick is something like 32-1 or 32-2 or something. No, he's 30-2 or something. I believe that's the stat. Bill Belichick is against rookie QBs.
And it showed.
Wow.
And it showed.
And one quick thing also on the Rams. Have you seen that ridiculous Sean McVay stat?
No.
Similar to the Bill Belichick one. I think he's 31-0 winning games if his team is up at halftime. Which is amazing. So as soon as I saw the Rams were up, because I think they said that on Red Zone, they said that's not on Red Zone. As soon as I saw that the Rams were up at halftime, I was like, that's it. Yeah. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's talk about the real story. My first pick. What a game that was. I think this game confirms that tanking is real. This game 100% confirms tanking is real.
I said to you about the Raiders. Like they're gonna play to their competition, and I don't necessarily trust them against the Jets, and that's why I had them in my second or third tier. I didn't have them as my, but yeah, obviously Greg Williams now got fired because of that ridiculous play calling.
But that's not. Let's not even get to that one in particular. Yeah, yet. Obviously, we have to talk about that. That's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But they were leading. The Raiders were leading in the game. It weren't comfortable, but they were leading. Then the Jets suddenly are fourth quarter comeback kind of people, which when has that ever been a thing? But then it seems like they heard that the Jags heard that the Jets were leading, and then suddenly the Jags started tanking and giving the ball away and just being utterly terrible. And then Greg Williams got on the blower. Someone told him, it's like, mate, they didn't win. So he was like, okay, then everyone, we're blitzing every play. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about the backside. Derek Carr almost throws away the game, the play before, even though it was given to him. That one was actually the one where Ruggs was blatantly open. And then he misses that throw, comes back, hits him again. Greg was like, oh, you need some more help. I got you. Now we're going to really send everyone. You can't miss this throw.
It'll be interesting to see if Greg Williams gets another job in the NFL.
I think he should. He's solidified 2 teams' first-round picks.
I was going to say, the reason I was say that as well is I think a lot more because of how well college coaches are doing in the NFL past couple of years with your Judge and your, what's the geezer parroting Carolina? What's his name?
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule, Joe Judge, how well they're doing, how Cliff Kingsbury got a lot of plaudits last year, not as much this year. I reckon quite a few of the college coaches might get jobs and there may not be another space for Greg Williams. But
I mean, someone has to be a defensive coordinator somewhere.
I've got not much to say about that game really. It is what it
was an amazing game. If it was as a neutral, as a comeback story, it was an amazing game because you were on the edge of a Jets first win of the season. You're watching that very closely. It was not a terrible game, but it was a terrible game by the Raiders standards. And then they pull it out. That's all you could, as a neutral, that's what you really could ask for. Just a last minute victory, a competitive game.
I do feel bad for Sam Darnold and the situation he's been put out with the Jets.
Dave might have destroyed his reputation and career.
I was looking at some mock drafts from NBC and from ESPN and a couple of, I think PFF may have had one, I can't remember. Just to get a sense of what teams may pick.
Mm-hmm.
There are about 5 or 6 QBs taken in the first round. I saw for quite a few teams.
5 or 6?
Yeah, because you've got the 2 bait ones. You've got Fields, Lawrence. You've got
Trask,
and the Trey Lance.
Yeah, Trey Lance.
Then I
was thinking 4. That was my 4 for the first round.
Then you've potentially got the Alabama QB. You've potentially got the Florida QB. So
Florida is Trask. Trask is Florida.
Trask. I was going to say Pitts, but Pitts is the tight end. Trask and the Alabama QB. So there's 6 already that could potentially be taken in the first round. 6.
Am I bugging? Lance,
4 bait
Fields,
ones and the 2
Lawrence,
ACC.
Trask.
SEC.
Mac. That's it.
Lawrence, Fields.
Trask.
Lawrence, Fields, Trey Lance, and
Trask.
No, Trey Lance. Who's the other one that you mentioned? North Dakota State.
Trey Lance is North Dakota State. Trask is Florida. Mac, I think his name is Mac, is Alabama.
And there's another one. It's not North Dakota State. It's the other one. Is it BYU? The BYU guy.
Oh, BYU. Oh, BYU. Yes.
Wilson.
Yes,
Zach Wilson.
The pretty boy. Yeah.
So those were the 6 that I saw a lot of mock drafts had taking. So you got 6 taking this year. A couple of years ago, there was 5 in the first round. Last year, how many were in the first round? About 3.
About 3.
And I don't know how many teams need starting QBs.
No, but you know what the problem is with these 5 ones? When it's decent numbers, 5, 6s, there's been a big decline, and it's never the first 2. It seems to be that turn out to be the superstars.
I'm just thinking more. If I was Sam Darnold, where would I spot the opportunity to go?
Sam Darnold just has to play well for the rest of the season. He's going to go somewhere. Improve your draft stock because that's going to entice the Jets to get rid of you or give them a little.
He's definitely going to get rid. It's just how much the Jets can get back for him. But it's just who would draft for him. Who would want to pick him up? Would the Pats want him as a second choice?
He would be cheaper than. He wouldn't be cheaper than Cam, but
Cam's
it will be cheaper. Yeah, it will be cheaper than another terrible season.
How do the Saints feel about their quarterback room?
Oh, they love what's his face?
I don't think they love Hill. I don't think they love him.
Sean Payton loves Hill. He doesn't like Breeze as well. If Breeze wasn't like historically good, he would have been gone a long time ago.
I think of what other teams could
Which I know sounds stupid. It
Sam
does sound
Donald
stupid, but
Sam Donald could fit into. Like, would Atlanta maybe take a flyer after Matt Ryan's gone? Like, where are the potentials? But I can't think of many. That's why I do
do
feel
you
bad.
think? But then, do you think that Atlanta won't get a nice draft pick with the
That's
way
the
their
whole
position
point.
is?
That's the whole point. They will probably end up drafting someone because they will
Mhm.
be mid
Because they're
round.
going to be high. Yeah, they're going to be high.
And I guess so that's just what I was thinking. Where could the guy go? And I can't think of anywhere there. Oh,
The
I hope he goes somewhere.
Steelers as a backup.
That could work. What about Josh
And then
Dobbs? Josh Dobbs. Good old Josh Dobbs.
big man, he hasn't dressed once this season.
I don't think he dressed ever as a Jag either.
Oh, my.
Well, where's your quarterback room saying? What happened to Doc Hodges?
He's on the practice squad.
What happened to Mason?
He's the backup. yeah. So we got the 4 QBs.
4 QBs.
Duck is, I don't know why they put Duck on the practice squad and not Mason. Probably because of the
Why?
contract and the draft.
Who's better?
Because Duck was better than Mason.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem was obviously when you're a first rounder, say you're a first rounder high draft pick, you get a bit more clout than the undrafted ones.
I think
So
Mason was third round?
He was second round. So you have the same, you could have the same stat line, but obviously they'll keep the second round or the high draft pick around longer than the undrafted guy because
yes, it's the draft capital. Yeah, of course. Mason,
obviously, when you're selling 2 duds to people and trying to get the trades,
he was a third rounder.
Yeah, he was a second round. TJ
was a second round. TJ was never a second.
No, it was James Washington. It was James Washington. James Washington. Then we got the quarterback.
Where was TJ? What
they played together.
I don't remember.
TJ was first with pick number 30 or something like that.
Wow, 28. He went 30th. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So people were scared of. I think people were scared of the kind of big brother little brother thing. Like he's getting where he's getting to because of his name. Obviously he played like 1 year of D line. He was a tight end and fullback before that, so that's what it is.
That was a decent draft year for you lot because you picked up what first round, second round you lot picked up Juju.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh dude, that was a voice crack.
Cameron Sutton, third round. I don't know why I'm looking at the Steelers draft pick for this year, but now I'm just really interested.
Why? Because you love us. You love us.
Don't get ahead of yourself. James Conner was third round as well. That was a really decent pick for you lot.
You love us. We're good at drafts-ish.
And then fourth round, you picked Josh Dobbs.
Yeah. He was the same draft as Juju?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, James Conner, Juju, Josh Dobbs.
I thought he was a lot earlier than that.
I was going to say, I thought he'd been around a bit longer as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about the Steelers draft.
He was actually a proper backup for a short time, and that's why I thought he was longer.
Just thinking, like, then how long after did you draft? Yeah, Mason. The year after you drafted
the next year. Yeah.
James Washington was second round, then you drafted. Quite interesting. James Washington, pick number 60th, wide receiver. Pick number 61, another wide receiver. DJ Chark of the Jags, who's already been a Pro Bowler, unlike James Washington. So, yay!
No, James Washington had a rough year, his rookie year. He started to not light it up, but he started to improve towards the end. And then we're going to see where he goes from now on. Because then we got other receivers that were doing bits and then got ahead of him. Anytime
the Steelers draft a receiver in the second, third, or fourth round, it's always like, oh my gosh, the Steelers always draft amazing receivers after the first round. It's just what they do. That's what they say all the time. To be fair, they have been consistent with it. James Washington, not as much with that. Because your receiving corps, second rounder, Juju, second rounder, or when's Chase Claypool, second or third?
Chase was second.
And then James Washington, second rounder. Yeah, all your receivers are second, third round. Anyway. Enough of that. Yeah.
So all we need to know is that I won again, back on the hot streak. That makes it 2-1?
3-1.
3-3? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because going into last week, you were 2-0 up. I won the week before. You won last week, so it's 3-1. And we've got
just wanted to hear you say it.
No, you. And we've got 4 weeks left. Yeah, we've got 4 weeks left.
Yep. So do you want to count it as a dub for me, or
We take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh, now you're gonna take it 1 week at a time.
Take it
I thought
1 week
so.
at a time.
You know what? Let's do side. If you
Go on.
no, I think if you lose, you have to do the Juju TikTok. We're gonna put it on the Instagram. Put it on
I don't even
Reels.
have a TikTok.
The Reels.
What
on
is
Reels.
what is the Juju TikTok? What
The
are you
dance
talking
that you don't try it out. Well, what's the Juju TikTok? You were just saying it before. You were the one that brought it up, so you know the Juju TikTok.
How about this? I'll shit at the Emirates.
No, you're gonna do the Juju TikTok, or you're gonna do it on Reels, and we're gonna put it on the profile.
I'll take a dump at the Emirates. That's what I'll do.
You're gonna put it on the profile. All I want to hear is Corvette. That's what I want to hear. That's all I want to hear. Corvette. With your face, I want you to learn the dance now. Might as well start learning it. Get it done because it's going on the profile.
Second down.
Now we've got the head-to-head. Ed, let them know.
Yes, sir. So we've got the Week 14 matchups. All 32 teams are playing this week, so we've got 16 games. To run over the schedule, we've got Pats at the Rams, Titans at the Jags, Vikings at the Bucks, Cards at the Giants, Chiefs at the Dolphins, Cowboys at the Bengals, Texans at the Bears, Broncos at the Panthers, Jets at the Seahawks, Colts at the Raiders, Washington at the 49ers, Saints at the Eagles, Falcons at the Chargers, Packers at the Lions, Steelers at the Bills, and finally, we've got the divisional matchup of the Ravens at the Browns. Now, me and Joe will take it in turns to make picks. Once the team's taken, the other person will have the other team. Joe, since you won last week, you, sir,
Again.
have the first pick. All right. Keep your knickers on.
Yes, and with the first pick in the 2020 Week 14 Third and Atlantic head-to-head draft, Joe selects the Chiefs at the Dolphins.
Oh, they were my fourth pick.
I've just seen a couple that I would like. However, we're going to wait on them. We're going to hold it a little second. But yeah, we'll get to it. Obviously, Chiefs, no more needs to be said. The Dolphins can surprise us.
They've also been on a little bit of a sticky one.
Yeah, but with the Chiefs, you can't come in on a sticky one. You've got to be all guns blazing. You've got to be firing. This week has to be super intense because even on their worst day, the Chiefs are better than a lot of teams.
I'm really looking forward to what Brian Flores and the Dolphins defense can do against that Chiefs offense. I think that would be a fun thing to watch out for if you are watching the early games.
Look out for Pat Mahomes' deep touchdowns for no obscene reason.
With my first pick, I am going to take the Seattle Seahawks against the New York Jets. One thing that had worked for me well previously is picking an elite team to have a bounce back victory, and no better team to bounce back up against
than the Jets.
The New York Jets.
Are you scared? Jets. But are you scared that last week gave them a lot of confidence and a ton of confidence on a Raiders team that so far we've liked, hasn't had the best record, but we've liked so far this season? That are you scared that that's going to propel them to finally get a victory?
If they do win and the Jags lose, number one pick, baby. So I'm sort of seeing it as a win-win. I get what you're saying. I get the side of, hey, Jets do now have a bit of confidence. They fired, as soon as a coach does get fired, the team can pick up a little bit because the players know after it's them after. If you get rid of a coach and you're still losing, there's no one else you could really put the blame on.
Yeah.
Or the front office will put the blame on. And the Seahawks, again, they are coming off a bad loss, and I do think that they really need to kick on just because they want to get as high. They want to catch the Saints. I'm not sure if they don't think they can catch the Saints any longer, but yeah.
Okay, so there's two. Let me just stick to my guns.
I've got two as well. I've got two that I think.
Okay, maybe three. Let me not lie. Maybe three. Let me not lie. In fact, let me go back one more time. I've got three.
I just got two. Keeping it uber safe.
Okay, it might not be as confident as your two. It's not as confident as your two. Okay, so I'm going to go with the Saints at the
Yeah,
Eagles.
exactly.
Well, the Saints has been firing, still firing. If Drew Brees comes back, I'm going to expect them to be firing. If Taysom Hill's there, I'm still expecting them to be firing. The Eagles have now officially given Jalen the start. It galvanized them in the last matchup, but it didn't galvanize them to a win. It galvanized them to finally play like a professional football team. So we shall see how it goes.
It galvanized Jaden Regal to score, to return the ball to the end zone after
Yeah.
a punt. Yeah, whoa.
And wasn't he the one that actually caught the touchdown as well?
Did he?
Or am I bugging?
He may have. He may have.
Maybe.
Yeah. Benching Castle Mints led to the Eagles' special team having superpowers, but
Yeah.
the elephant in the room.
But this is what I really don't understand, right? We watched the return. Alex sent it over, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm so happy, so glad." He sent it over. I just looked at it, and I was like, "That doesn't look like a special teams victory. That's for your side anyway. That looks like the other team just didn't block at all. Like they didn't have good coverage at all. He literally dropped the ball, then ran in pretty much a straight line, a little diagonal, and then back. Like it just makes no sense."
So you know how you got X Factors on Madden? The Eagles' X Factor is whenever one of their punt returners or kick returners drops the ball, they get special return powers. Shout out, D-Jack. But the elephant in the room for this matchup is definitely going to be Jalen Hurts and what he can do in the QB position, taking starter snaps.
Let's not forget when he was drafted, the Eagles said he wasn't drafted to take the starting role off of Wentz. So therefore, I don't think he was in Pearson's eyes. I think this is like fighting everything in his soul. That's why it's taken so long.
I don't believe half the things teams say about drafted players before they even see them play or have them in their facility.
Yeah, but then the question is then why did it take so long for it to happen? Because the people have been calling for Wentz to be benched or for an increased Jalen role for since week 5.
It's exactly what you were saying with regards to draft capital and where you pick a player. What we were saying earlier about the CSQB. It's the same reason why Jags kept Blake Bortles on as number 5, who's someone who's drafted as a 5th pick of the draft all those years. But we're not getting to that wormhole.
It is what it is.
With my second pick, I am definitely taking the Green Bay Packers over the Lions. And hopefully I don't get bitten twice by the team that just lost their coach.
This was one of mine. The Lions did play well. Come back, their comeback team. They have done some decent damage against the Packers. I just don't know if they ever completed it and won. They haven't won a lot of them, and it's Aaron Rodgers playing at MVP level.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Agreed. I felt that they were definitely in my top tier of teams to take for this week.
They were going to be my next pick if you ever let them slip, but you didn't. But I'm not going to let this one slip. I'm taking the Titans at the Jags. Another away team. That's it.
Are you not worried about that pick?
No, the Titans played well.
Talking more about the Jags now.
The Titans played well last week. The Jags fumbled their way into a win. That's all I can do.
You lost?
No, you won week 1.
Oh, I thought you meant last week.
Yeah, if they knew that a team was going unbeaten, going without a win for the rest of the season, winless. Sorry, if they knew a team was going winless, they would have lost that first game on purpose. But
Mitch would let that happen. I mean, it was just we were in that game, and I think something I mentioned to you last week. I only felt that there were 2 or 3 games when we got completely blown out. Every other game we've kept competitive, and I think in 7 losses we kept it within 1 possession games, and I think maybe only 1 or 2 of them may have been garbage time scores to get it. But throughout the majority of the game, it's all been close. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. With my third pick, I am going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against Yeah, I'm taking the Tampa Bay Bucks over the Vikings.
Okay, I didn't know about this one.
Were you not sure? I
I
think
wasn't.
I think the Vikings are really overrated.
The
Their
Vikings have been
defense,
coming back.
their defense isn't that good. I don't feel it was that good. When I watched them against the Jags last week, I didn't think much of them. Maybe it was because of the Jags and they may have played down to the competition, whatever. Their offense looks decent. I felt that they could have capitalized on our poor defense a lot more at corner and with their run game, but they didn't capitalize as much as I thought they would. I prefer the position Tampa are in, and I really hope that. So they also had a bye last week as well, which I think is a big factor to consider. Also, that's why I'm taking Tampa.
Oh, this is lovely. Tampa, I just didn't know because. Wait, what time is the game?
I think it's a Saturday game. No, Sunday. It's Sunday early game.
Sunday early. Okay, yeah. I mean, the Bucks in prime time is what you need to be worried about. These crowded games, they seem to do a bit of business. So yeah, but with my next pick, I'm gonna chuck it out there. Gonna go out on a whim.
Okay, I like this.
Hope that it doesn't come back to bite me. I know you're not gonna pick this one until a lot later and be like forced to pick it, but I'm gonna go with the Cowboys at the Bengals.
Ew.
Yeah, it's a disgusting game, and I just don't want the Bengals. I think the Cowboys, even surely this point, the Cowboys should be able to pull it out.
If you flipped everything you said, I would 100% agree with you. I do, under no circumstances do I want the Cowboys anymore.
With a backup QB, the Bengals have. They only got 7 points last week.
Under no circumstances do I want the Cowboys.
Can they even get multiple scores when the team can prepare for them?
Don't care. So I'm glad that's out of the way. I don't have to deal with that.
Yep.
With the fourth pick, which I have no idea why you picked that game over this pick, I guess. I'm taking the Ravens over the Browns.
Because, to be fair, I didn't know. The last head-to-head rusher that Chubb went against, he won the battle tremendously. So I didn't know where to pick. And it's a division game, so I don't care who I have. I don't want either of them to win.
Classic.
Go on, give your analysis.
Browns had a Baker, 4 touchdowns last week? Cool, whoop-de-doo. Yep. Whatever, well done. He's a QB, whatever. I'm not going to get up in arms over that performance. Yeah, he did really well. Cool, kudos. Can he keep it up throughout the remainder of the season? Can he do it when it matters in the playoffs? I prefer what the Ravens can provide. I think now people are underrating what the Ravens are and who they are. Calais Campbell's coming back, and I think Lamar is back as well. So I feel more confident in what the Ravens can do than the Browns.
All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go with the Colts over the Raiders. I think they're a decent all-round team. The Raiders, once again, I have a thing for picking a team that has come off a high emotional win, a last-minute win. The bounce back the week after, there seems to be a little hangover for it. So that's why I'm taking the Colts, and the Colts are a good enough team to capitalize on that.
I hope the Raiders will play up to their competition this week, and it could be a very physical matchup between both sets of lines. So the Ravens O-lines versus Colt D-line, and then Colt O-line versus Raiders D-line. It would be really fun because I think that's a really cool trenches matchup.
Yeah.
And we'll see how the Colts corners can do against those Raiders receivers. That was your 6th pick. With my 6th pick, I am taking the Texans over the Bears. I still don't rate the Bears. Since after last week's loss, I'm not having the Bears. Texans, I do feel getting some hard breaks. I just feel so bad for Deshaun Watson. Get him some help or get him the fuck out of there.
They are wasting a great one's career.
At least with the hop, they were cool, we'll send you to Arizona. You can have some fun there with Kyler. Kenny Stills out for the rest of the season. Oh no, not Kenny Stills. Will Fuller is out for the rest of the season because of his suspension. And there are many weapons left. I'm still taking the Texans. It's more that I don't rate the Bears any longer than the other way around.
Yeah. It's just one of them, innit? You can't pick the Bears this year. They're toxic. They would be a very toxic team to pick. They will underperform for you if you pick against them. They may come out with a bang, but yeah, stay away from the Bears. I'm gonna go with really a pick 'em right now. Really a pick 'em. I'm picking the muddy games. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go with Cardinals over Giants. The Giants have been. Oh, that's another away team. The Giants have great with McCoy. They don't know if they're gonna come out with McCoy or Danny again. They're gonna wait to see if they're gonna wait for Danny to be 100% healthy before they bring him out. So we're gonna see if the Giants are for real this time. If the Cards can stop their spiral, and yeah, here we go.
Just let you know, there's no wait and see. Giants are for real, I believe. Although, to be fair, their record doesn't suggest that.
No,
the only reason I say they're for real is because of the division they're in.
Yeah, they might get to the playoffs, but that's about it.
They will win a playoff game. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. To be fair,
do you want to put something on that?
So they'll most likely be facing whoever's second in the NFC West. So at this rate, it's looking like it's either Seahawks or the Rams. I think it will end up being the Seahawks because the Rams, it looks like they'll take the top seed in that division. Which, speaking, I'm not picking that game. I am going to take the second team coming off a bye. I want to take the Carolina Panthers over the Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought you were going to be scary. I thought that's
no, you know what? I was gonna pick that. I was gonna pick that until on the little NFL app here under the matchup, it says Denver 5-1 all time versus Carolina, including the playoffs, and that was with Cam Newton, and I think I'm gonna take it.
Okay. We're talking about old stuff, like whatever. Like,
hey, history is history, especially if they've got their QBs back. Name someone on the Panthers that strikes fear into your heart.
Moore.
DJ Moore. Who's thrown it to him?
Teddy B.
He ain't been doing too great, has he?
What's McCaffrey's?
He ain't the Saints. He ain't the Saints. Teddy B.
I mean, where's the Saints Teddy B? You mean Minnesota Teddy B?
Nah, Saints Teddy B was 4. He was 4-0 at the Saints. Believe it?
Yeah, but it's the Saints. Yeah. So,
do you believe it?
Now we've got 4 more matchups. JA, who are you taking?
Yes. I so badly. Wait, so we got the Steelers, Bills.
Yep.
Patriots, Rams.
Yep.
Washington,
Rams.
Washington 49ers.
Yeah, and then
the Falcons, Chargers. So that's a toxic game right there. I'm gonna pull it. I know you're not gonna want it, but I don't. Oh no, I am gonna pull it. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick the Rams at the Patriots. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared about this one. Obviously, Billy B. I'm really scared, especially with Goff. There's all these scary QBs. Literally, if you could go into New England with your chest up, confident this year, it seems that you could take it. But Goff is one of those that has always been up and down, and he was up last week.
You're taking the Rams, right?
I'm taking the Rams.
Full disclosure, I had the Pats.
Yep.
And we all know what happened last time Patriots played the Rams, right? Speaking of history.
No, I don't remember, actually. I'm not going to lie.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
It's a rematch of the Super Bowl.
How long ago? 2 years ago?
Something like that. Something like that. And you know what? It was a terrible Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was. I can't believe I stayed up for that shit. But
So I'm hoping it gets a bit muddy again. But this year, it looks like the Rams will be able to hold it out.
with man's penultimate pick, with my penultimate pick, I am taking the Chargers over the Falcons.
Way.
Is that the one you were thinking about?
That's the toxic game, yes.
Toxic game. I'm taking less toxic.
I didn't know who to pick. Before the Chargers lost last week, Anthony Lynn was in the changing room saying, "We're out of the playoffs." Before they were statistically out of the playoffs, and that's who you want. That's who you're backing right now.
Both are toxic. The Falcons will shove an apple down your exhaust pipe of your car. The
Chargers.
I got that analogy. The both are toxic.
Put sugar in the engine.
So I mean, they're both toxic. The Chargers will ram a potato up your car's exhaust, whereas the Falcons, they'll drag a key across your car.
Don't forget, put sugar in the engine as well.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, that kills the engine. That destroys it. Done. No repair.
That's the Jets. Jags is they'll knife up your wheels. So, 2 more picks left. Joel, your final pick.
Yep.
What are you thinking about these 2 matchups?
You're gonna give me what I want. So, I mean, not what I want, but what you're gonna give me. I know what you're gonna give me.
Why are you not taking your Steelers, Joel?
I know what you're gonna give me.
Why are you not taking the 6 Steelers team?
Because I know.
Or 12 and 1, whatever the fuck they are.
Because I know what you're going to give me.
What?
So, I'm going to go with. I really don't know who to pick. I really don't. I'm so shook.
I've got down who I want. I wrote down who I want.
Yeah. So. Once again, picking Washington goes against my moral victories. They haven't been able to string together a whole game. I really feel like the Steelers gave them the game and they didn't win it, per se. Obviously, when the crunch time came, they performed, but they were out of the game before that. Like the Steelers were 14-0 up. Like they shouldn't have been a comeback. There was a comeback through the fault of the Steelers, not through expert play by Washington.
I watched the first half. I was like, oh fuck! Yep. Like I'm just gonna go to bed. Like it's gonna be what it is. Couldn't sleep, and then look at my phone. And I'm like, oh, it's actually 14-14. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then I whacked it on, and I see Big Ben needing to drive. Interception, and I was like, okay, there goes my pick.
Drop passes.
There goes my pick.
Drop passes. Mike T said it. If we get receivers that can't catch, we will get someone in who can. That was Mike T. Big Mike T. So,
someone like Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown could do well on the Steelers, don't you think?
Yeah, he would have. But then that picking them goes against my coming off a big win, big emotional win. And then the 49ers haven't been amazing all season. But the same with Washington. So I'm going to go with... I really don't... Oh, it's so tough. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Hold on. You're letting me pick the Steelers?
You're not going to do it. You're going to do it. The Buffalo Bills. Big Buffalo Bills. The toughest game. Do you remember that was one of your toughest games of the remaining
Steelers undefeated.
That's what it, no, hey, you said.
I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to do, I've got what you're trying to do now. Yeah.
No, I don't hear it. You can't pick them because you said the Buffalo Bills was the hardest game of their season and they wouldn't go through it. That's what you said.
No.
You can't do that. You said they can't go undefeated because of these games. So if you pick them, you are a man going against your word.
Your honor.
We can't be having that on this show. We can't be having that on this show. That is shambolic.
Let me address
that is shambolic.
Your honor, let me address 2 things. Firstly, Joel's upset because in the preseason, Joel said he would never, ever, ever pick the Falcons. And then we got into preseason and he picked them and he ended up losing that pick. So that's just first thing. I think Joel's been upset ever since and he's finding his opportunity to pounce. Secondly, there is no opportunity to pounce. I never said that the Steelers can't beat the Bills. My
If you
simple
pick
point
them,
was...
you are.
Whoa. Hush. My simple point was, what are the Steelers' signature victories? That was my question. And I said they had 2. The Titans, and the other one, who was the other one? Was it the... No, it wasn't the Browns. Ravens and the Titans. And I'm like, those were their marquee games that they've had so far this season. And they didn't necessarily look good in either. That's why I was wary of them once it got to the playoffs. And that's why I asked you, how do you feel about your Super Bowl chances? And I said, okay, what are the Steelers' remaining schedules? Okay, they've got the Bills, which could be a tough matchup. How do you think they'll do? That was it. I never said I wasn't going to pick the Steelers. My question was, how do they perform against big teams? Because I wanted a bit more insight from you. That was my question. There is nothing about saying I will never pick the Steelers.
Your Honor.
Selective listening. He's doing a classic Skip Bayless.
Your Honor. If Ed picks the Steelers, he is a spineless shell of a man that has come up against them week after week and has said that the Bills are the ones that have beat them.
I picked them last week and they fucking lost.
Don't want to hear it.
I picked them last week and they lost.
If you pick the Steelers, you are a terrible person. It goes against your word. We can't be having that on this show.
Joe thinks he's Jose Mourinho with these mind games and it's not going to work. You come from the academy of Arsene Wenger and Unai Emery, so I'm not having that. Joel, so anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We need to take one pick at a time. We need to take it one pick at a time.
Everyone will see you for who you are.
Everyone. Oh, scary. Oh.
Spineless.
Oh, shiver me timbers. Oh. So you picked, I forgot, who'd you pick again, Washington or the 49ers?
49ers. Absolutely cowardly if you pick them.
So Joel's trying to do a 2-for-1. Nothing. He made his pick and he's trying to influence my pick. I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Buffalo Bills.
Shambolic, you are absolutely terrible. Your word means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Did I ever say I will never pick the Steelers?
Absolutely nothing. You said that they should lose this game. You said they can't go undefeated because of these games here. Because of this game here, you said they can't go undefeated. You said, watch out for the Bills. That was what you said. That was what you said.
Yes, I said watch out for them. That could still mean that your word now means
nothing. Your word now means nothing. Your word now means nothing.
I love this because you have no substance in your argument. I love this.
Your word now means absolutely nothing.
We picked it as the last matchup.
Garçon, roll the fitted.
We picked up as the last matchup. And just because I said watch out for them doesn't mean I think they're going to lose. I think they could potentially be a bogey team. Like, if previously I think they'll have an 80% chance of winning, and now I think they'll have a 60% chance of winning. Joe, 60% is still more than 50, so I'm going to take them. So those are our picks. Anything to say on that matchup? Anything? Okay, so now we've got that bickering out the way. How do you really feel about this matchup?
I think it's one of the Steelers. So it can go 2 ways, obviously. Bounce back. No, they have, but obviously bounce back. The Steelers wanted. They'll bounce back. They'll get re-energized, as they say. After a loss, their focus has come back. We needed this and all that. All that team stuff that they say after a loss. Or they go into emotional, like depressional state of play, and just lose out because they don't have to win to get to the playoffs. But they won't get the 1 seed.
So I am worried about, having taken the Steelers, I am worried about the time to recuperate after the game this week.
Again, short week again.
So that's what they play on the Tuesday.
Played on Tuesday, playing again on
Monday. So, I mean, 6 days. That's like fairish. That's
21 days, 4 games.
I get you. And Bud Dupree is out. TJ.
Yeah, another one. Spillane went down. That was when the game really turned.
TJ is going to get a lot of
attention
his way. So the rest of the defense should hopefully get a chance to eat. Bill's secondary, I do really like, and it could be tough for the Steelers receivers. I do think they are missing a big. I don't know if they are missing a big play receiver or if Big Ben can't make those throws anymore. those big throws down the field.
Mate, they were hitting hands. They were at where the receiver should be. Like,
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
that
The
was terrible.
receivers were underwhelming. It's almost as if they took a boat trip down to Miami for a weekend. If you remember that incident.
To be fair, the week before they were converting the huge third downs,
Yes.
making the catches that they shouldn't have been making, and then last week none of those catches that they were making before fell their way. So you could say it's a bit of balance in the force and all that, but yeah, that was
And
terrible.
it's going to be a really fun wintry game in Buffalo. Is it going to be a snow game? It must be a snow game.
But Buffalo hasn't snowed yet. Well, Minnesota hasn't snowed yet, apparently.
They've got an indoor arena, no?
Yeah, yeah, but still, just in general. Um,
Buffalo.
So obviously those games, you want a huge run, a big run game because it's a bit slippery, a bit dangerous on the pass. However, the Steelers this year have not had that, and then going down, they're starting all pro center had COVID. Don't know if he's back in for this one, but yeah.
So I'm just checking the NFL weather report for Week 14. Steelers, Bills. Let's see. Cloudy, according to forecast, is expected to be 40% and the 13% chance of rain. Oh, no snow?
No snow, global warming.
Oh, okay, that's not as fun as I thought it would be.
If it was a snow game, I feel like that's the Steelers' loss because we have no run game this year.
Yeah. So those are our Week 14 picks. So a quick overview. So our Week 14 picks, Joel has the Rams over the Patriots, the Titans over the Jags, the Cards over the Giants, the Chiefs over the Dolphins, Cowboys over the Bengals, Colts over the Raiders, 49ers over Washington, and then the Saints over the Eagles. My 8 picks are Titans over Jags, Bucks over Vikings, Texans over Bears, Panthers over Broncos, Seahawks over the Jets, Chargers over the Falcons, Packers over the Lions, Steelers over the Bills, and Ravens over the Browns. With that, anything else to say? How do you feel about your picks? I feel that this week there's a lot of tougher ones than previous weeks.
No, I would say pretty decent. Obviously, you can never know in this. It's a professional league with professionals on both sides. So you never know. It's never 100% how the games turn out. But I feel like it's going well so far. I don't hate my picks, but we shall see how it goes.
So as we wrap up second down, we're going to get into third down. Joel, tell us what we're doing.
Lovely. So third down. Who are you? Very simple. We're going to take a player from the NFL and relate them to anyone in world sports because we can. Why not? Ed, who you got?
So just for reference, neither me or Joel tell each other what our comparisons are going to be. So it's going to be a fresh reaction. I don't know what Joel's picking. Joel doesn't know what I'm picking. So I'm going to explain who my NFL player is, and then Joel will take a guess. So this one I think you'll guess quite easily. And it's not a player, it's 2 players. Matter of fact, they're twins. The McCourty twins.
Yeah.
So we've got Devin and we've got Jason. Devin is the better one. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler, 3-time second team All Pro in 2010, 13, and 16. Bit more accomplished. And then you have got Jason, who was drafted by Tennessee, 6th round. Devin was a 1st rounder. So Jason, 6th rounder. He's a corner compared to Devin, who's a safety. And Jason joined his brother Devin in 2018, picked up a chip with him, which is kind of cool. So just looking at it from a storyline perspective, I already had 2 people in mind who you may or may not know. They Big Lou, they're retired already. So 2 brothers playing on similar teams, winning stuff.
Yeah.
Both defensive players, one of them better than the other one. A lot more hardworking, makes big plays.
That's not who I was thinking of.
Not necessarily makes big plays, but have both played for solid organizations that have been successful for an extended period of time and both been integral. Devon's got 3 chips with the Patriots, which is really impressive. The comparison I'm going to make with one of the brothers, he's also got quite a few big titles. And they play defense. They're just solid and can play defense and have been around for a while. Can you guess who my comparison to Devon and Jason McCourty are?
I was gonna say the Klitschko brothers, but
No, I kept it to football.
yeah.
I thought this would be an easy one. 2
it's
brothers.
Not Pogbas.
No.
It's not the Pogbas.
Won titles together in the same team. Played for a consistent organization.
Don't say Hazard.
So their coaches, Big Clue, their coaches is the comparison you made previously.
Bro.
What was the Bill Belichick comparison?
Saf.
Did Saf have 2 brothers that played in the same team that won titles together, and one of them being better than the other?
Nevilles. The Nevilles.
So,
that's horrible. I
No,
would have taken the
that is-
Klitschko ones. I would have taken the
No.
Klitschko brothers.
both Gary and Phil were on the Champions League 1999 team.
Mm.
Gary was obviously a starter, Phil not so much. The only reverse is that whereas the Neville brothers started their careers together and ended on separate teams, it's the opposite.
Yep.
Jason and Devon came together at the end of their career. They both won a Super Bowl together. The Neville brothers won a Champions League medal together alongside many other Premier Leagues. I think Gary was in the 2008 or 9. I always forget which year they beat us in the final. When they won the treble, I think it was 2009. Gary, I believe he was in that team. Devon McCourty's also got 3 Super Bowls, so I like that comparison. And they've both been in respective teams for so long. Devon's a captain for the Patriots. Gary Neville was captain for United for a long time. They had quite similar games in terms of they play sound defense, don't take too many risks, and just absolute team players. That was my comparison. And then Jason McCourty being a bit shitter and Phil Neville being a bit shitter.
Rude.
I mean,
rude.
So that's
what
my
I'm
comparison.
gonna say is okay. So my one gonna start with a running back.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson. So obviously he started off people before he even got in the draft process, people were trying to write him off.
Okay.
They were pushing him away, pushing him back, saying he should switch positions. He's not good enough for the league as a QB and all that, even though he was setting the world at that level alight. Recently, obviously, he's found his voice, won an MVP.
I think I've got it already.
Yeah, he didn't do well in the playoffs. This is where the comparison falters, by the way.
Okay.
Once it gets to crunch time, as in playoff time, this is where the comparison kind of falters. He hasn't been able to pull it off, but this person has. Who are you thinking so far?
Is it a footballer or is it a different sport?
I'm just going to let you guess and I'm going to tell you.
I was going to say maybe Raheem Sterling.
That is a good one. No.
Okay.
They do both have the flair of their players, the flair of their play, sorry. But this person, when you think of flair in their play, you've got to think out the box completely. This is not football. So you have to think out the box completely. When you think of flair in the play, when you think of record breaking, when you think of a flair in their play, think out the box. When you think they're both record breaking, came in with a bang, still making a bang. Now not only on the field or in their particular sport, but outside of it, when you think about charities and being a voice for a cause.
Okay.
Yeah. You got anyone now?
So the fact that you open up to all sports makes you think, I don't know where to take it. But my initial reaction when you were saying all that was Anthony Joshua. No. Damn it. Oh, gosh. No. When you open up to all sports, I'm a bit more...
Put you out of your misery?
No, can you just at least tell me the sport roughly?
The sport... No, once you hear the sport...
Okay.
You've got the person.
Is it a team or individual sport?
it's an individual sport still done with a team.
Okay, because my next person, I thought, is it this guy? But Hamilton.
It is.
Okay,
It
cool.
is
We got there
Hamilton.
third time. Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah, out. Obviously, after they've been battling hurdles and hurdles coming up through their career, they were both kind of blocked and then not blocked. They had to prove themselves, and once they proved themselves, they shattered any barrier placed in front of them. Very outspoken now, according to charitable causes and stuff outside the sport, because of the platform they've been given. But yeah,
My question is, the big thing there is Hamilton's won so much compared
Hamilton
to Lamar.
has won so much, yes. So the problem is when you get to because that's the problem when you get to a team achievement versus individual achievement. Hamilton has won a lot, but Lamar has just broken a lot of records. So yeah, but of course, in winning a lot, Lewis has broken a lot of records. So that's what you got to see it. If it wasn't a team game, would Lamar have won a lot or won as himself?
Yeah, I don't know much about F1. I'm just thinking, don't know how much you know. What is Lewis Hamilton's biggest flaw as a driver, if he does have one? Because obviously we compare the strengths there, but then also what are their weaknesses? Can we compare their weaknesses? I don't know much about F1.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to think of a flaw. But the problem is obviously we know the barriers within, elitist sport, or for those that aren't part of the elite. But when you think of Hamilton, you think of an amazing driver who has actually lost championships due to relying on his team. Funnily enough, but the big one that comes into mind, he pitted. His team told him to pit. He pit, and then got overtaken. Obviously, that's why he was in the pit, and he was never able to reclaim his position. Therefore, lost the championship because of it. I can't remember what year that was, but it wasn't too long ago. So this year, when his team was heading him to pit on the race day, he solidifies it. Of course, the season is still going. He didn't pit, and he said very vocally, "I'm not pitting. I'm not pitting." He ran his tires ragged, even though they should have been swapped. They were bald. And then won. So if you listen to your team, turns out you lose.
Wasn't there all that teammate stuff that happened with him?
Yeah,
when
so
he was at Mercedes.
Obviously, they've
I don't know whose fault it was.
He still they still do the so they do the not nice to work. Some people try to throw out the not nice to work with or difficult teammate. However, they kept Lewis and threw away the other guys. So
anyway. Cool. So those were our third down. So let us know who you believe the Lamar Jackson of the sports world is, and who you think the Devin and Jason McCourty of sports is. I think Gary.
There you go.
That puts week 14. Oh no, not week 14. Week 13 at a wrap. We finished week 13, started week 14.
Yeah.
Some interesting matchups to watch out for, and we've only got 4 more weeks left until playoff season, baby.
Yes, sir. And with that, we're out.
Peace.